All right, everybody. Hopefully we're back. I don't know what happened, but had a sudden crash. In fact, it was a crash of everything. So hopefully none of that. And so here in Blender, I was trying to explain before, I've been working on a lot of stuff since the last video. We have our new Legos on the floor here, some coloring books I can show you on the table over here, some posters that we did in Midjourney, brought them in using the images as planes. I'm going to move our buckets back out again like I did the last video. Give this a quick save. And place a couple of the rabbits around. Remember, I made that one rabbit. I'm going to jump out of our camera view here so we can see more of what we're doing. I'm going to hide the room itself, and we can take a look at these cool train coloring books that I made using Midjourney and images as planes. I just generated these in Midjourney with a little bit of direction, of course, then brought them in as images as planes, extruded them out a little bit, and set them on the table. Posters are just images as planes. Designed these in Midjourney specifically with a little foreshadowing for this particular story. And what I really wanted to get into is this shelf here. You can see it's a shelf with some objects on it. And the tutorial I did on creating a building front out of a single image in Blender, this is essentially the same thing, except for I've made some separate objects out of it and so forth. And I just went into Midjourney, which I will show you here, hopefully now with no problems. And this is transition over. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to show you. Let me go back to the correct display. My bad. This is what I wanted to show you. And if you look, let me just adjust this as well so you can actually see what's going on here. That would be good. In Midjourney, if you've never used it, it's an AI generation, image generation program. And you can see here a little bit better that over here on the right, I put in a prompt for creating a children's bookcase, and it gave me these 4 images, and I liked the bottom left one, and I liked the, I believe, oh yeah, the bottom right one. I'm pretty sure those are the ones I used. I'm just trying to look, and we're going to scroll up now, and here is the up-resed first one there. So I wanted to generate this, and then of course this one, and we brought this one in. Now the one I'm using is actually in reverse of this one, but it doesn't matter. I flipped it over by accident. It doesn't matter because you can't read any of this text anyway. None of it's real or good useful text. So basically yeah, we flip those over, save those out of Midjourney. It's actually very cool to be able to do that. And now we're going to run back to our Blender here. So back in Blender now, once again, you can see that we have this shelf. I brought it in and using the loop cuts in the edit mode, loop cut, and also the knife tool, sliced around everything and extruded it out. I separated the shelf from the rest of it, and then the back is its own separate object where I'm pulling all these objects out of. That's as far as I got before we crashed the last time. Don't know what happened. It was actually a Windows crash. So basically I'm going to come in here again in edit mode now and just take our knife tool and go around this car and try to get it. It doesn't have to be perfectly accurate because, for one, this is very small in the scene. It's not going to be seen close up. you'll see what I mean here. It doesn't like to do more than one object or one point on the edge, if you noticed. None of this needs to be super accurate. Like I said, it's going to be so far away from the camera. Of course, invariably, every time I get told that on a movie set that, oh, don't worry, this will be in the dark, this will be in the background, for like practical effects stuff, guess what happens? Usually the director says, let's turn on all the lights and really see that up close. That looks great. And then all your flaws pop out. It's just the way it happens. So we press enter. I'm going to just come back out here for a minute and see, using the extrude tool here, what we want to pull out from the background. And we just pull that forward, and now we have our friendly little car. If you want to get more detailed about it, you can. It's kind of cool if you do. However, I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to control click or alt click or something, trying to grab just the outside edges of the car without that centered one. Matter of fact, we could probably even do away with that one, but I'll just leave it for now. And I'm going to go here and bevel these edges. Hopefully they will work relatively well. And then we will just add another row in there, and we have our little car. Now, if we wanted to do this differently, I can show you another way. Just kind of back up and hopefully not crash Blender here. We're going to pull this forward only as far as, say, the as far as the window level should go. For some reason, it's not switching into my extrude mode. There we go. We're going to pull it out this far, and then we're going to make another series of cuts here. Very simple thing to do. Let's look from the front again, though. And then I'm just going to basically cut it kind of from here across. And the reason for this, hopefully that will work, I don't know if that was a good idea or not, is we're going to pull the rest of the car out now forward using the extrude. Just these polygons here, and that way the windows will sit back farther than the rest of the car does. We're going to come in and select our edges like we have done before. Oops, that is not what I wanted to select. Let's select here and shift select there. And we're going to bevel those edges back to some degree. They will get kind of weird just given how some of this is set up. And then we can add one or two divisions to them. And we have some of the roundness of that car back. Now you notice some of this is a little bit jacked, but it could be possibly fixed. I don't know what's going on with this particular polygons here. Let's just turn on our... There we go. Maybe we can pull these down a little more. This one looks like it's kind of overlapping the one above it is what's going on there. I think this one is happening from there. There we go. And that helps a little bit. It doesn't fix all the problems, but this is not going to be seen close up. And we can also come in here on that top edge. If this was to be seen, let's say. This is just an example because none of this, like I said, is going to be seen. Otherwise, I would have done it to this other object over here. But this is just something you can do if you feel like it's necessary. I'm not going all the way to the end on that row, but you could take this and bevel these back, and you see how that will sort of triangulate down. And then we could add in one or two separations, and you'll now have the rounded part of that car. Pretty simple. So I just continue doing this kind of thing. So now we're going to work on our friend the ball over here. And it can touch that. That's fine. It's not a big deal. This doesn't have to be perfectly round either because, you know, it's going to definitely have some errors no matter what you do. It's not perfectly round in the image. This is really to just kind of fill in some space. You'll see. We just enter that in. I think I've got, we just need to make sure we select all of our edges here. Don't know if that goes all the way around correctly, but we don't want these in the front. So I'm going to manually select a lot of these guys. Deselect